Hi, and welcome to video 2. In this video, we're going to do 2 more practice problems to help you understand how to use molarity in stoichiometry. Whenever you're confused, this sheet will really help you out. It helps explain the order in which to do stoichiometry. If you're starting with grams, you basically start here and you work your way through the problem. And if it's starting with liters, you start here and work your way through the problem. Or if you're lucky and it's a slightly easier problem, you might start with moles and get to skip this first step. And again, as you're working your way through, if you want your answer in grams, you're going to work this way. And if you want your answer in liters, you're going to work your way this way. So that's why this sheet will really help you out. So here is our first example problem. We're using the same equation we did in the original problem. It states, if the calcium hydroxide solution has a molarity of 0.63 molar, how much calcium sulfate will be produced if we combine 3.7 liters of calcium hydroxide with excess sulfuric acid? Basically what this means is you don't really have to worry about the sulfuric acid or determining a limiting reagent. You're basically just going to focus on this calcium hydroxide. So the first thing to do is to really look to see what are we starting with and what do we want as our final answer. And if you look, you're combining 3.7 liters of calcium hydroxide. That's what you're starting with. And it's asking for how much calcium sulfate will be produced. This extra information in the front is just telling you the molarity of the solution so that we're able to use that as our converting factor. If we go back to our chart, if we're starting with liters, we're going to start here. So from that front sheet, we saw that we want to take what we're starting with, and we're going to use molarity. We're then going to use the mole ratio, and finally use the molar mass to find our final amount of our product produced. So we're starting with 3.7 liters. So as the problem states, we're starting with 3.7 liters of calcium hydroxide. And we're going to use the molarity to convert that to moles because it's in liters. So if I draw my T, I'm using the molarity, which is 0.63 molar. And what that means is that there are 0.63 moles of calcium hydroxide every 1 liter of calcium hydroxide. So that's how we're able to use it as a converting factor. Now that we have moles of calcium hydroxide, we're going to use the mole ratio to convert it to the calcium sulfate. Extend my line. And again, looking at the balanced equation, the calcium sulfate and calcium hydroxide have a 1-to-1 ratio, making sure that the calcium hydroxide is on bottom so our units cancel out. Once we have moles of calcium sulfate, because we want grams, we're going to use the molar mass. Again, because moles on top, moles is going to be on bottom, and we have 136.14 grams of calcium sulfate is the molar mass. From this, simple enough, we just have to do the math. 3.7 times 0.63 times 1 times 136.14 divided by 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1, gives us an answer of 317.34 grams of calcium sulfate will be produced. Here is the example problem number 2, and I want you to try this one on your own. I'll give you a couple minutes, but make sure to press pause in this video just to make sure you have enough time. And then I'm going to go through some hints and tips first, and then I'll solve the problem. My first tip is to look at this sheet. Think about what are you starting with and what are you ending with, and so that'll help you what order to do the stoichiometry. the order in which you're going to do this stoichiometry problem. See if you can figure it out now. I'm now going to go through the problem. I'm not really going to explain it. I'm just going to show you my work. Hopefully, after doing these past two problems, you have a better understanding of what you are doing and can head to the actual practice problems that you can do on your own. Remember, if you're ever stuck, take a look at this picture. It'll really help you out.